So OkCupid decided it would put some lovely adverts on the New York subway to advertise their wonderful platform, which is totally not full of whores. I don't know. OkCupid, I just want to make fun of them here. Because, quite frankly,
let's be fair, it probably is.
Given the adverts, that's a fair impression, I would imagine. So let's go to this first article here. So this is from Rory, writing on lotusears.com. Women rips down pro-LGBTQ ads in New York subway.
So based queen, I think, is how we're supposed to be described there.
Officially. Yeah. So they're quoting here. The woman told fellow commuters that the images were, quote, propaganda designed to, quote, affect the next generation. Several passengers seemed to agree. And she was tearing down these pieces of paper, which have their Degenerate adverts on top.
Good for her.
There was a lot of this, like back and forth with the commuters, and her just saying this is all degenerate crap, and everyone was kind of in applause. They were like, yeah, this is weird. Not happy about this.
Well, what were the adverts? I didn't actually see them.
So before we get to the adverts, I'd like to set the stage for what the Islamo-leftist position is on adverts.
Okay. Yeah.
So let's go to the next one. So we'll have the BBC. Just want to make everyone remember this.
I remember this.
You remember this. So this is Sadiq Khan, the Islamo-leftist mayor of London, who decided that he would ban unhealthy or unrealistic body images.
So if we can scroll down a little bit, John, just so we can see.
That's the unhealthy or unrealistic body.
Not a degenerate picture.
Now, she is in a bikini, but that's about it.
Not unusual for women in the summer when they're on beaches.
Skinny. That's not unrealistic or unhealthy because she is a real person and is a health nut who had done it.
I looked into this at the time. It turns out she's just a vegan. So she stays slim by just controlling her diet.
Yeah, but apparently at the time, 378 fat people complained to the Transport for London.
No, count. 378 fat feminists.
Yes, to be more specific. Or Islamists, because there was also the debate at the time whether or not Sadiq Khan was doing this for religious reasons.
Should she be wearing a burqa?
Yeah, so the watchdog investigated this and ruled it was not offensive or irresponsible, so...
Women's bodies are not offensive.
Yeah.
Official government watchdog.
Yeah, TfL commercial development director said, advertising on our network is unlike TV, online, and print media. Our customers cannot simply switch off or turn a page if an advertisement offends or upsets them, and we have a duty to ensure the copy we carry reflects that unique environment.
Man, all I'm picturing is the soy wojak of a fat feminist crying, sat on the tube with this picture of a normal-looking or attractive woman sat in front of her, just crying hard.
So if that's enough to be kicked, that's enough to get kicked from the lobby of being on the subway as an advert.
I guess from the Islamo-feminist position.
Let's go back to OkCupid. So let's go to OkCupid's stuff here, and we'll just go through these images if you can click on them, and someone's saying this is unreal. So first one here. It's okay to choose Mr. Right based on how far he leans left.
So literally promoting left-wing politics in OkCupid's advert.
But also that you should pick your partners based on political swings.
Yeah,
okay, so that's the first one.
But hang on, before we move on, how ironic is this, given the trend in left-wing female circles of saying those stupid, sexy MAGA bros. Look at them with their big hulking muscles, and I can't stop thinking about them. Yeah,
you're going to get that feeling a lot. I think a lot of this does come off as cope, where it's like
feels
date
like
left-wing people, and it's
date left-wing men because they're a bunch of lonely incels.
What if I just don't want to? So let's go to the next one. So the next one is it's okay to choose to only date someone who's pro-choice.
This is propaganda.
Yeah, it is propaganda. It is blatant, and it's blatantly political on a state-run medium here, being the New York subway. So we go to the next one here, the next image. It's okay to not date a man who won't vote for a woman. Still...
But then the reverse of that must be okay. It's okay to date a man who won't vote for a woman.
Yeah, I love how they're still
salty
about Hillary. Get stuffed.
It's not her turn, I'm afraid.
Yeah, so we'll go to the next one, next link, because there's more of these, and they're endless. Here's another one. It's okay to have strong convictions and abandon them for a night.
No, it's not.
OkCupid.
That's not okay at all. Why would you say that?
It doesn't make any sense.
Well, yeah. Well, no.
I think it's again, giving the rest of the propaganda is about it's okay to date left-wingers. It's like right-wingers, please date left-wingers. Even though you're right-wing, just date a left-winger for once, please.
No, what that is trying to encourage women to have one-night stands.
There's also that.
Right. But the irony of this is that it's not okay. That will happen. You will have strong convictions, and you will be weak on them occasionally, and so you'll, fail to live up to your own expectations of yourself. But that doesn't make it okay, because the point is here to ameliorate the guilt that one feels for betraying their own convictions.
Yeah.
You should feel that guilt.
But also that you should have the same moral standard as Vorsh. That, say things until they're inconvenient and then just go for whatever gives you power.
Good point.
Because why not?
Yeah.
Anyway, so go to the next one. There's also the weird sex ones. So you have this. So these were also on the subway. These are just clear images so we can see them. You have the one on the left here. Every single pansexual, and then it's two people, I suppose, sharing a what is that? Chewing gum.
Looks like
Bubble gum. There we
Yeah.
go. And then the one next to it, every single non-monogamous, and then it's like a portrait of I don't know. Like, it's meant to be I think like 5 people hugging over each other on a park bench,
Just looks stupid, but yeah.
kind of having sex. I mean, by the lady with her head down
Yeah.
there. But yep, then more of this. So if we keep going, so we go to the next one. We have the lady tearing them down because she don't like them.
Absolute queen.
So she saw this stuff and was just going around tearing it carriage to carriage, being like, nope, this is degenerate propaganda. Get out of here.
I love the fact that nobody's. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, well, if from
Let
the
it go.
we're not going to play the audio, but the audio was everyone kind of agreeing with her.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, how's she wrong?
yeah. I mean, even in New York, I imagine most people are like, oh, come on. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it is. So let's keep going. So let's go to the next one. We have some more screenshots that I tried to take out of that footage. So we click on the first one here. We've got the biggest tongue in the world there.
Gross.
So it's got the word pansexual next to an image of presumably a black woman and a white woman, and the black woman's putting this humongous tongue into the throat of the white woman,
Okay.
and it really looks like Alien or something.
Yeah, it looks gross.
It also, a lot of people said it reminded them of the Stone Toss comic. You know, the one where
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
they're kissing,
Yeah.
all this help us
Selling
sell more
burgers.
Yeah. Yeah, again, I don't think this has to do with sign-ups to OkCupid, to be honest. I think it
No.
has to do with something else. So let's go to the next screenshot here. So you have a finger going through a hole in an apple.
Okay, nice innuendo.
Okay, whatever.
But
Like,
what a weird. Hang on, get back. What a weird finger.
I know. All of these
Look how
kind of
long that finger is.
it's like Alien again.
Yeah.
It's not normal. Let's go to the next one. It's just another screenshot in there. You can see them. It's like it's okay to date a feminist, and then there's a
No,
bunch
it's
of
not.
hands. And just,
Yeah, no.
more cope, isn't it?
No.
It's okay to date a feminist. Please do it.
Yeah, so why aren't people?
We've got to put up adverts to
Yeah.
convince people.
Yeah, notice the MAGA guys don't have like it's okay to date a Trump supporter.
Nah.
People already are.
Not bother with that. And then we go to the last one here. So this is just one more image for every single person. Okay, Cupid.
I mean that.
Where's the limit?
No. That for every single person, as in single people should use
okay.
OK. That's the one example that's not degenerate.
I have the inkling feeling in my head of the LGBTQ plus that might include a P at some point in my head as well.
I'm sure that that's true.
But we'll give them the benefit of the
But
doubt.
that in and of itself, taken in abstract, is there's nothing wrong with that.
Also, that does disagree with their previous propaganda, though.
What?
That you should be monogamous and pansexual and all the rest of it.
Sure, but like a single, yeah, well, that's true. But like in abstract, that itself is not objectionable for a dating site. That's the one thing.
If they'd just chosen that, no one would care.
No.
But they didn't. So let's go to the last example here. So this is just the one on the left at the bottom here that says every single submissive was just the other one. And also the every single introvert with, it's openly sexual.
That
Let's put it that
tongue
way.
one is gross.
Guy, yeah, I mean, look at it. Look how long it
Hideous.
is.
It looks like something out of Aliens.
Like, imagine editing that and be like, yeah, this is a good idea. It's terrible.
God,
Anyway.
every single vaxxer.
I have some unfortunate news for that lady who's going around tearing down the paper versions that are on the subways, because they've also done digital ads, because of course they have on the subway. So if we go to the next one here, you can see some like screens up. I mean, this does remind me again. What was the video we did about everything looks like a post-apocalyptics, like cyberpunk?
Oh, the cyberpunk future. Yeah, here we are.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that one on the left.
It does.
Every single vaxxer, and then it's the image of the alien tongue going into the white woman's throat.
Yeah.
Which,
I mean, it just feels very cyberpunk, doesn't it?
rightio. And it's not just OkCupid that are doing this kind of weirdo stuff. So we go to the next one here. This is one other she was tearing down, which is Dear Women, with some weird E everywhere. We're starting a fashion revolution and would love for you to join us, Old Navy. And then body equality being the sign-off there.
Oh, yeah.
So again, it's just leftist, stock, woke kind of adverts.
Revolution.
And,
I'm so sick of revolutions.
well, is this allowed? That's the question. Is this allowed? Because it's not just about whether or not you think it's degenerate or you think it's leftist. Is this even legal, according to the authority in charge? So we go to the first one here, because apparently the Metropolitan Transport Authority, the state organization that runs the subways, has a long history with this debate. Because, of course, First Amendment, America, all the rest of it. So here we have the first one, which is from the ACLU back in the day, in which they actually defended freedom of speech. And on here, they took the MTA to court over Adverts. So an advertisement featuring a photograph of a crowded subway car with the headline, "With livestock, it's animal cruelty. With people, it's a morning commute." So making fun of their crap service. MTA stated it was rejecting the ad because the headline is directly adverse to the commercial interests of MTA, and that it is highly critical of the MTA's performance and its current mass transit services. Yeah, no S.
I'm not going to put that. Why? Because it makes us look bad.
Yeah, but it was a First Amendment issue at the time, and they took it to court, and the ACLU won for the claimant. And the MTA today informed the ACLU and the United States District Judge Alan Schwartz that it would permit the ad to run. They had to run it. They ran an ad against their own commercial interests by force because you're a state-run entity, you're for advertising, First Amendment, simple as.
So are they going to make the same argument for these degenerate adverts?
Well, no, because then everyone saw that and thought, well, that's funny. Imagine what I could put up. And they did. So let's go to the next one. There are some supporters of Israel, as they describe themselves, who put up some interesting adverts. So this one, they have a quote: "In any war between the civilized man and the savage, support the civilized man. Support Israel, defeat jihad."
Okay.
I just love how brazen they are. They're just like, I'll put anything on there. Why not? Yeah, First Amendment. And yeah, go for it. So this was Pam Geller. So she's now banned from entering the UK, I believe. She's on the ban list for being a naughty
You're
girl.
banned for this.
Yeah.
God, okay.
So the MTA is not permitted to block pro-Israeli group from running hateful anti-jihad ads on public buses, according to the federal judge ruling yesterday.
Hateful anti-jihad.
Yep, that's how this is described in this.
If you can't be against suicide bombers, you're a hate monger.
Yeah, so the ad, commissioned by pro-Israel activist Pamela Geller, they put activist in quotes because they don't like her, and her American Freedom Defense Initiative were blocked by the MTA last year after the authority argued that they might incite violence. Geller argued that the MTA's move was a violation of her free speech, and Judge John Cottle sided with her yesterday. Quote, "It strains credulity to believe that New Yorkers would be incited to violence by ads that did not incite residents of Chicago and San Francisco to similar acts." So they'd already put them up in two other cities.
Yeah.
They were like, look, New Yorkers aren't going to start killing people over some ad.
No.
If this has already been proven that no one else cared about this.
Especially when the ad is against the people who kill people.
Yeah, but then they did one more. And this also went to court, and it also got through. So the ad, they mention, the ad shows a man with a scarf across his face next to the words, quote, "Killing Jews is worship that draws us closer to Allah," attributed to Hamas MTV. Below it, it reads, quote, "That's his jihad, what's yours?" Again, pretty spicy.
Yeah,
And,
that's very spicy.
Go to the next link. Yeah, they put it up. they forced them to put it up. And they put it on the buses, the metro.
But the thing is, have you ever seen any Palestinian TV?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the sort of thing they put on Palestinian TV.
Not very PC. Let's put it that way.
No, absolutely not.
God, I just go look up memory TV points on the Jews. I mean, you don't even know to get Palestinian
Yeah,
TV.
no,
to get
it's
to that.
just
But anyway, that's
endemic to the Middle East.
But also, I look at that and I must admit, there's a bit of me that's like, oh, that's freedom. That's a free country.
Well,
where you can put up stuff like this and it's fine, and they literally can't do anything about it. And there's also the point in the United States, the First Amendment is supposed to be around political speech, specifically. That's the one that is most defended.
Yeah.
And this is a form of political speech, as you could very easily see. But then where is political speech? Where does it end? Where does it start? Is the OK Cupid stuff political speech? Obviously, right?
Yeah.
So therefore, they should be allowed to do it because these guys are allowed to do it.
Seems that way.
New.
Well, really?
Big new.
Really? Why?
Because after this, they got cold feet about people putting out whatever they wanted. Big surprise.
Maybe there should be some limits to these things, who knows?
Yeah, so we go to the next one. MTV votes to ban all political ads from subways and buses
Okay.
in
that's
response to
All right.
Pam Geller doing whatever the hell they wanted, which
That's
was,
fair. No political adverts at all for anyone.
quote here, "Advertisements expressing viewpoint messages, regardless of the viewpoint being expressed, will no longer be accepted." That's a quote from the state who runs
So how are the OK Cupid ones allowed?
That's the big question, isn't it? So they had a quote, "We drew the line when we thought our customers, employees, and the public were in danger. The judge gave short shift to those concerns." They weren't in danger. Literally no one did anything. So that's the point. However, he could argue with the OK Cupid ones, well, it did incite one lady to start tearing them down. So
Well, I suppose.
I wonder what can happen. They have a quote from the ACLU in response to them banning all ads. "It is unconscionable that you are thinking of banning all political ads from the transit system," said Christopher Dunn.
Pamela Geller should be totally free to call Muslims jihadis.
Yeah. But it's not just freedom to do it. It's freedom to buy up government like advertising space to do it. That's the debate, right? I like that's amazing. That's amazing that America used to be that free.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Anyway, so they banned it. And I thought we'd just mention the ACLU because, I mean, doing interesting things back in the day. And I just had to insert this to remember that why you shouldn't support them is because they changed. Here you have the quote. ACLU, verified checkmark on Twitter. With Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg's death, we lost a champion for abortion and gender equality.
Imagine being a champion for abortion.
Weird thing. And on the anniversary of her death, the fight to protect abortion access is more urgent than ever. And then they have a quote here in which you can see, if you scroll down, I'm not going to read the full thing, but you can see they have the words person and there.
In square brackets, because they've replaced the word her, right?
Her and woman.
Yeah.
They removed the words from the quote and replaced them with gender-neutral ones because they didn't like what she said.
Because Ruth Bader Ginsburg was a reactionary.
Yeah, she was.
Who thought that only women gave birth.
Horrible turf.
Yeah.
And they want to still claim her as part of the left,
yeah.
but of course it's inconvenient because she believed that women were women. So they've had to rewrite this. And that's another example of the ACLU's fall down into the rabbit hole of wokeism. But anyway, we'll leave that there. So then we go on from this, because you might argue, well, okay, the OkCupid one's not political if you're an idiot, and for some reason you're going to argue it's about commercial attitudes or something. And no, they also ban lewd things at the MTA.
Yep.
So here's a story in which they banned sex toys. And you can see that one on the left is kind of explicit, but the one on the right, not so explicit. I mean, literally just a bunch of...
Well, I mean, it says toys for sex. If your 6-year-old's reading that, Daddy, what's sex?
You could argue that, but, there's no big penis in the middle of it, like the one on the left.
I guess.
Yeah. So if we have in there, the quote, the MTA advertising policy prohibits any advertisement that promotes a sexually orientated business and advertisements for sex toys or devices for any gender fall within this category.
See, I actually quite like the political adverts, and I don't think they should be banned at all. I can totally understand the sexual one, of course, because children use the subway, and you don't want to sexualize children or expose them to sexual things because you're not a leftist man. And so I can understand this being, I'm a obviously free speech extremist, but there are times and places, and this isn't it.
Yeah. There's also a quote here. In enacting the ban, New York follows in the footsteps of Los Angeles, Chicago, and Philadelphia, along with the political ban as well. Yeah. So a lot of other state-run subways I don't want to get involved with this.
The political ban I'm disappointed with, though.
No, I quite liked it.
Yeah.
Wild West. Go for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's true freedom. But that's the thing. So the reason I've laid that all out around the degenerate ads, because the degenerate ads are what you'd expect from leftists.
But they're sexual.
Degenerate. And sexual in nature. But the interesting thing for me is looking at that with the context of the surrounding parts of MTA, the organization that runs it, which is state-run, and the arguments about free speech here. Because, of course, there's only two real acceptable points, which is that either you have the Wild West, which Pam Geller can do interesting things, and the opposition could also do interesting things, and God, that'd be funny, but they shut it down. And also the other version, which is, of course, the average Joe test, which is what will the average Joe make of this? Does he want his kids seeing it? In Britain, we call it, what is it, the man on the Clapham omnibus. Really? Is the phrase.
It's just a reasonable person test, I thought it was called.
What is a random guy thing? Yeah. It's a tradition to pick something stupid like that because it's Britain. And you got to pick one of them. And, the MTA picked neither. They decided that they would just allow degenerate political stuff if it came from the left. Their own rules prohibit this sort of thing, and they didn't care. So that woman there is actually enacting their own policy. So if she goes to court over this, just want her to be aware of that, if nothing else. You can argue in court, I was doing my duty as a citizen and making sure that these political ads and these sexual ads did not stay up because they're not meant to.
What an absolute hero she was.
Yeah, literally. By MTO's own policy as written. If you enjoyed that segment from the podcast The Lotus Eaters, you can go over to lotuseaters.com to subscribe to get access to all the premium content we have.
The way the site works is that you have bronze, silver, and gold tier subscriptions. The bronze being £5 a month and allows you to get access to all of the premium content and leave comments on the articles. And we've got a new feature for the silver tier, and the silver and gold tier, which is having all of the premium articles accompanied by an audio track of a very smooth British voice reading, as you can see on the screen there. It's only an 11-minute listen, or it's however long it takes you to read the article. So that's for convenience. So that's for gold and silver members. And we've also got all of our regular great content, which we're all really proud of. I mean, the premium podcast we have here is Progressing to Destruction, where that's just a lot of work where it went into examining exactly what the consequences of mass immigration have been in Britain. And this was a great deal of effort to put together, and we didn't really want it being taken down from YouTube or anywhere else, so we're hosting it on our site, and we're very pleased with, well, what is, I suppose, a bit of a negative response, but not because of anything we've done, but because of the facts of the matter, it seems. But we also do various other premium podcasts, like The Contemplations, such as Are There Human Rights? Well, it depends on whose definition of what a human right you are using is. And of course, we do our regular history podcast called Epochs. This week's was The Sea People, the Terror of the Bronze Age. I really enjoyed doing this one because there was a great collapse about 3,000 years ago of the entire economy of the Eastern Mediterranean, and it seems that a bunch of piratical raiders may have been partially responsible for that, and possibly inspired the Trojan cycle from Homer. So we discussed that in that. And of course, we do our book club. For some reason, I decided that we'd highlight the George Orwell ones that we've been doing. So we've got his Road to WIGAN, PIER, and of course, the classic 1984. And I'll probably do Shooting an Elephant next. Have you ever read that?
Not heard of it.
It's really interesting. It's about George Orwell's time as a colonial administrator and police officer in Burma. And at one point in his narrative, an elephant goes on the rampage in a village and is killing people and destroying houses. So he has to go down and shoot it. And it is an absolutely fascinating look at the sort of colonial dynamics. The reason I haven't done a book club this month so far is because I'm currently going through the Critical Race Theory Bible. As you can see, it's 500 pages long, and I'm about 2/3 of the way through. And there are going to be many very in-depth book clubs coming out of that, because the things they believe are crazy and conservatives need to know about them.
Last thing to mention, of course, is if you'd like to see us live, you can come to our live events. So the one we have coming up, I think Saturday is sold out, but Friday still has tickets if you'd like to come. So we're going to have Andrew Lawrence down as the secret guest for that one, to be the comedian.
Not so secret now.
Not so secret now. And Count Dankula, Carl, and I'll be giving a secret speech about a topic I don't want to ruin now. Yeah. But that's that. But anyway, if you'd like access to all that premium content, please go over to lotuseaters.com, subscribe. Thank you.